Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm back with Jordyn's Journey, Part 6. How did we get here? Quick recap. Jordyn had his first open heart surgery. He was in the PICU and he hadn't fully waken up yet. So after doing CT scans, MRIs, things like that, the doctor had information that he wanted to give to us. I remember my husband and I, we were walking to the PICU, and it seemed like it was the longest walk ever. We finally made it to the door of the PICU, and I can feel my heart just like fall into the pit of my stomach. It's hard to describe the feeling that I felt going in because I didn't know what was about to be told. It was just, it's hard to describe that feeling. So we get to the PICU, we walk in, we see Jordyn in his little bed. The nurse walks up to us and she's like, "How are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I was doing better before I talked to you, but I think we're ready." She said, "Okay, I'll go get the doctor." The doctor comes in. Me and my husband are standing on the side of Jordyn's bed, and we're standing so close together because he's trying to brace himself. I'm trying to brace myself because we don't know what he's about to tell us. So he says, "Well, Jordyn had his surgery 2 days ago, and we've been trying to get him to wake up and try to respond to certain things, and he's really not doing it. At this point, he was still kind of moaning a little bit. It wasn't as bad as the day before, but he was still moaning some." He said we ordered CT scan, MRI, they did blood work, they did everything to try to figure out what was going on. And this is what he told us. It looks as if either during surgery, after surgery, or even in recovery, Jordyn had a stroke on the right side of his brain. Everything after that, he said, it just really was like womp, 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 because I tuned him out after he said that. I said, "You said he had a stroke?" He said, "Yes, ma'am, he had a stroke." He probably won't have much movement on the left side of his body because if it's on the right side, it's going to affect the left side of his body. I remember just dropping down and crying and crying and crying and crying some more. My husband, I looked over there at him and he's crying. He's bawling. The nurse tried to walk up, try to comfort us, but it's just like there was no comforting us after we just heard what the doctor said had happened to our baby boy. So after standing there with Jordyn, listening to the doctor, we got ourselves together and walked out of the PICU. We didn't walk out to leave. We walked out to get our thoughts and just try to understand how he comes in with a heart defect. He goes in to have surgery to fix his heart, and now he's had a stroke. I remember we come out of the PICU and we just had like people in the waiting room and the security guards and people at us just staring, trying to figure out what was going on because we were just bawling. So when Jordyn went in for surgery, I created this group chat where I could text the grandparents, aunts, uncles, and let everybody know at one time what was going on with him. So I got it on the PICU out there in the waiting room, and after I got myself together, I decided to send everybody a text message to let them know what was going on. No sooner as the text message actually delivered and people got a chance to read it, that our phone started ringing. His was ringing, mine was ringing. We have the grandmas on the phone and they hysterical because again, he just went in to have a heart surgery, which it is a big surgery in itself. You don't think about all the complications that come along with having surgery, and he was one of those ones that had one of those complications that you sign on the release telling you that you could have heart attack, stroke, you can even possibly pass while you're in surgery. We know all of these things. We just didn't think that it would happen. I remember talking to my husband and he said, you don't have to get on Facebook and tell anybody that. I said, you're right. Remember, I told you before that I had started reaching out on Facebook when I thought Jordyn was going to have his first surgery in April. So when he actually had his surgery in June, I asked again for prayers and encouraging words and things like that via Facebook. So I thought about it. We talked about it. I said, you know what? I said, right now, we need all the prayers we can get. All the prayers we can get from anybody that knows anything about God, that can get a prayer to heaven. We need those prayers. So I typed up a post, explained everything to everybody, and I posted it on Facebook. And that's how Jordyn's journey was created. With Facebook, I posted every day, sometimes twice a day, and 3 times if I had to. The only thing we really wanted at this time was people to just pray for our baby because he was struggling. He was really struggling. I remember when we got home that night and we were sitting and we were talking and we just replayed everything that had happened that day. And for 2 days before that, we listened to our baby moan and moan. We thought he was in pain. We had no idea what was going on. He couldn't tell us. The doctors didn't know at the time what was going on. And at that time, we felt like all we could do is just call on Jesus. And that's what we did. At this point, Mama couldn't help. Daddy couldn't help. The only person that could help Jordyn at that time was Jesus himself. So we prayed over our baby. We spoke positivity into our baby. This was just the beginning. The things that happened in the coming days, we were not prepared for. I'm going to stop here, but we're going to pick back up and I'm going to let you know what happened during Jordyn's journey.